So I had testicular cancer 17 years ago. Western medicine saved my life. But since then, I'm very careful about what I put into my body. It's not that difficult to choose between the stuff in the bag and the stuff that is more natural. If you ever go out to LA and you just talk to actors, they've got their whole lists of like their serums and their drinks and their matcha teas and their all this crazy stuff, and makes dating in LA pretty difficult.
What did you have yesterday for dinner? What is your favorite snack? What did you have this morning for breakfast? For lunch, what are you planning to eat? Favorite drink? Do you read the ingredients every time you go to the supermarket? Hello guys, the food inspector over here in South Florida. Look at the beautiful weather. Look at this beautiful hotel we have over here. Well guys, today you are in for a treat. I got so nervous when I got the opportunity to record this person that I forgot to do the intro. So guys, enjoy and let's get it rolling. How old are you?
51.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a professional actor and a real estate investor.
What did you have yesterday for dinner?
So I'm on a 30-day liver cleanse because I'm in front of the camera quite a bit, and I do my own podcasting and stuff. I'm always making sure that I am looking healthy and feeling healthy. So with this liver cleanse, I have been restricted to nothing that is processed, no refined sugars, nothing out of a package. So last night I had salmon with cauliflower rice and soybeans.
Who introduced you to this program?
My doctor. And this is not a normal doctor. She's an integrative doctor, which means they look at your body. Most doctors will do tests and say like you have high cholesterol, and they'll recommend a pill like Lipitor or Crestor to reduce your cholesterol. They look at what's causing the high cholesterol. So they look at the reason why your body is reacting the way it's reacting. And most of the time doctors will either prescribe something that will fix the symptom rather than the actual cause of it. So they'll prescribe a pill or surgery, and I'm a cancer survivor myself. So I had testicular cancer 17 years ago, and I'm not saying that Western medicine isn't great because it saved my life 17 years ago, but since then I'm very careful about what I put into my body. And here in America especially, there's a lot of foods that are banned in Europe that are allowed to be served here, and there's a lot of pesticides, a lot of preservatives, a lot of chemicals. And the crazy thing is in this country is that the rates of disease are going up in this country. Cancer, heart disease, autism, and everyone is like, what's going on? Why is this happening? And it is so simple. Everyone just look at what you're eating, and if you go to an American grocery store, it is just like Lucky Charms and Trix and Apple Jacks and all this food that has all these chemicals in there. And so that's why I try to focus on just non-processed foods that are essentially have as minimal alteration as possible and as few chemicals as possible. So like grass-fed beef, one of my favorite things to do. Eggs is definitely something that I have in my diet. I love coffee, but for the next 30 days I'm not allowed to drink coffee, so no caffeine, no alcohol. What else? No grains, no wheat, no dairy. Goat milk and sheep's milk is healthy though, so you can have that, but it's very limited right now, and I'm very cranky, if you couldn't tell.
That's exactly everything I talk about in the channel. It's impressive. I love it. It's like-minded people. I love it.
So Barcelona is the food, because I've been there a couple of times. First of all, people there are amazing. And the restaurants I went to are phenomenal. Is the food there healthier and fresher than you would say here in America?
It's less processed. So the way we treat our food is just we eat it as it comes. So yeah, a tomato, we're not gonna just crush it down. We're just not gonna add any other ingredients. It's just tomato. We clean it and we eat it. Dressings. We don't go to Caesar dressings. We don't use ranch, olive oil, vinegar, salt, and we eat it naturally. There's plenty of unhealthy food and processed food in our supermarkets, but it's just, you don't have alerts going on, signals saying, hey, you gotta watch out with that, you gotta watch out with that product, fresh access. So, coming back, breakfast. What did you have this morning for breakfast?
So I'm on intermittent fasting right now. So what I had for breakfast was a bottle of water with hydration pellets in there for electrolytes. And I have, it's called Manuka honey. It's from New Zealand, and it's got all these anti-inflammatory properties. So I had a little teaspoon of that, and then a little dark chocolate. So that's all I had for breakfast. Normally what I do for breakfast is I like to have eggs and bacon. That's typically what I like to do. I try to keep out the carbs, but if I am going to eat carbs, normally it's like potatoes. And then chickpea pasta is something that I really like because it's gluten-free, non-wheat. Yeah, there's a lot of really healthy alternatives out there that if you really are, I love pasta, and so chickpea pasta and spaghetti bolognese, that's my favorite.
So you love it because it's exactly my older version.
Yeah, and if you ever go out to LA and you just talk to actors, they've got their whole lists of like their serums and their drinks and their matcha teas and their all this crazy stuff, and makes dating in LA pretty difficult.
For lunch, what are you planning to eat?
For lunch, so I saw that they had a cheeseburger there. So what I was going to do was order the cheeseburger without the bun and just eat the meat and the tomato and the lettuce and the onion.
You gotta follow the 30-day guide. That's understandable. Snacks. We all have cravings. We all have our weak moments. We all wanna sometimes treat ourselves correctly. You mentioned dark chocolate, but what is your favorite snack?
So typically, I like to eat energy bars, but energy bars that are low in sugar. Sugar is probably the most dangerous thing that we can put into our bodies, and I think that's the thing that most people don't realize here in America. The human body, from what I've read, the healthy amount of sugar per day is around 30 grams of sugar. The average American gets 70 grams of sugar every day. So sugar causes inflammation in the body, which causes all kinds of other diseases and problems. And most of the time, like diabetes is caused by high sugar intake. And so just by trying to reduce sugars, but a lot of these energy bars now have sugar alcohols, which aren't necessarily good for your gut, because your gut biome is definitely something that more and more, attention is starting to be paid towards in terms of your mood, your energy, your health. So I try to eat energy bars that are all natural, like just have dates and peanuts and some nuts in there. It's crazy how you have to be so vigilant about what is in all of these different, foods. But as far as the snack goes, I do like dried fruits, like dried apricots, bananas, watermelons. My vice, though, is chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. It's like
you gotta enjoy what you gotta enjoy. It's all about having a balance. We can eat that. We just gotta not eat it every day.
Right. The whole thing. And the portions here in America are so gigantic, and it's like when you order a plate of food here in America, it could feed a family of 4, and all 4 family members are eating this gigantic plate of food. It's ridiculous.
Favorite drink?
Usually it's cold brew coffee with almond milk. That's my favorite drink.
And last question, it's a yes or no. Do you read the ingredients every time you go to the supermarket?
No, not every time.
I was surprised. Why?
It's a good question. I think if you are like checking every single little ingredient, every single thing, I'd probably be at the grocery store for 5 hours. So I try to just like, every time I go, like if I see something new, I'll check the ingredients. But I probably should, because even there was a package of almonds that on the airplane that they were serving, and it was like almonds, and you think it's just almonds, but it's got sunflower oil, it's got paprika and salt and some other preservative in there, and I was like, even just like what you think is natural is not always the best for you.
I have a very good friend who's a nutritionist, and she likes to say that if you start reading everything you eat, you're gonna drive yourself crazy. And you gotta be disciplined with food, but you gotta also be relaxed when you eat. You cannot eat with your phone. You cannot be eating under stress, or when you're feeling anxious. You gotta have that mental situation where you're feeling.
Like my piece of advice is food is fuel. So if you want to have as much energy throughout the day, if you want to be able to be there for your family, go do your workouts, and just have the kind of life that I think most of us want to have. It's not that difficult to choose between the stuff in the bag and the stuff that is more natural. People say it's more expensive to buy all natural foods, but I guarantee you the medical bills that add up later on in life, if you don't take care of yourself earlier, far surpass what you'd be paying at the grocery store.
And not only that, is today ordering food outside, delivered food home or going out to the restaurant today, it's so expensive. Yeah. Supermarket prices have gone crazy, but even the delivery.
Yeah.
Can I be honest with you? I was not expecting to have this quality conversation. The more I do these interviews, the more I find that people out there are really interested about what they eat. Yeah. So I really appreciate you sharing it first, being honest, and
it helps.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As I was editing this video, listening to it again and listening, he has a powerful message to share, because it's definitely not about the money. It's all about the actions that you take every day. It's the effort. It's the constant effort. Sometimes I feel tired to cook at home. Sometimes I don't want to prepare myself food to go to the office, but I know I'm going to be hungry. So what do? I prepare myself food in order to have that success the day after. I cannot be lazy. I cannot buy instant noodles. I cannot eat that food because it's gonna pay out terribly at the end of the day. If not tomorrow, next year, or 10 years from now. I just hope the same for everybody. Don't let kids eat whatever they want. Guide them. Don't be lazy. Cook for them. When they go to school, prepare something for them. If you're not happy with the food they're eating, it's definitely not about the money. It's actually cheaper for you to prepare a Tupperware for them to go to school. Every day matters. You've been going through a rough period for a year. Today is a brand new start. You can do it. Just need to start from day one. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter if you gained some weight throughout these years. You can always start from zero. And always make sure that when you go buy food at the supermarket, spend some time to read ingredients. If you don't understand the food you're buying, don't buy it. You wouldn't do it if you were doing a recipe at home. You would not put stuff that you did not understand or that didn't help your recipe. You are what you eat every day. And food that we sell at the supermarket these days is definitely not helping you. You gotta be aware. Make the right decisions for you, for your family, and for your friends. Bye guys. See you soon.